Yeah, so with that, I will hand over the session to Sagar. Sagar will be your full stack web development trainer and mentor, and the sessions will be starting from Monday. So over to you, Sagar.
Yeah, thank you, Jagdish. Hello, everyone. My name is Kabir Sagar. You can call me Kabir or you can call me Sagar, no problem. Yeah, so basically, I have like 5+ years of experience as a software developer, where I have worked with multi service-based companies, product-based companies, and my stack was completely MERN stack. Basically, I was like a front-end engineer, where I have worked on product-based companies, like that companies has their own product. We have developed it using complete MERN stack, and my role was based on a requirement. Mostly I have worked on front end part, and sometimes I got opportunity to work on back end. This was like a very short introduction about me when it comes to my development career. When it comes to training career, in the same way, like I have 5+ years of experience as a software trainer as well. So I have started my training career with my development career only. So development career was like my full time, and training was my like part time. So I used to take some sessions part-time with multiple platforms, where I have trained around 10,000 plus students on different technologies of front end and plus back end as well. Yeah, that's a very short introduction about me on my training and development career. Yeah, guys. So today I just wanted to make you guys understand exactly what is full stack development. Okay. So everybody have joined this program, right? So you guys are planning to join, or maybe you have joined this program. So this program we call as a full stack web development, or in general, people will use the term full stack development. So I just wanted to know, anyone have any kind of idea what do you mean by full stack development? In case if you have any idea, feel free to unmute yourself and share whatever you know about the full stack development. Anyone?
Not certain exactly.
Okay, guys, no problem. So basically, before we understand what is full stack development, first of all, we have to understand what is the meaning of this full stack. Okay, so different people will use this full stack term in different contexts, but let's try to understand generally what do you mean by full stack. Basically, full stack is nothing but a collection of technologies. Okay, so as of now, what you have to understand, full stack is nothing but collection of some technologies, or I can say set of some technologies. Now the technologies can be when it comes to technologies, those technologies can be languages, those can be libraries, those can be frameworks. So at this point of time, you won't understand what is the meaning of framework, what is the meaning of library, what is the meaning of language. Okay, so just forget about that. So currently you just try to understand full stack is nothing but collection of some technologies. Now what are those technologies? We will try to explore. Yeah, is it clear, guys? What is full stack? Full stack is nothing but a collection of technologies. That's it. Yeah, anyone have any doubts? If yes, feel free to unmute yourself and you can ask.
I was thinking full stack is more to do with the knowledge of a backend and front end together.
Yes, you will understand. So basically, as of now, we are trying to understand only the term full stack. That's it. Okay. So full stack is nothing but collection of some technologies. Now then what is full stack development then? Now, full stack development is nothing but it is the process of developing web application using technologies. Let's consider there are XYZ technologies. So that is a full like collection of technologies. Now, using these technologies, you can develop a web application, and this entire process we are going to call as a full stack development. So there are different terms people will use. Full stack development is nothing but it is a process of developing a web application using some set of technologies. That's it. Is it clear for everyone? What is full stack? What is full stack development? Anyone have any doubts? In case if you have any doubts or if you did not understand something, feel free to let me know. Okay, now can you guys tell me why you guys are joining this program? What is your ultimate goal? Anybody? What is your ultimate goal to join this program, or why you want to learn full stack development?
I think the ultimate goal is to get the job
Okay, to get the job.
and get the knowledge as well as the training, which will be beneficial to understand in detail, like
Nice.
what exactly we need to do, how we have to move forward, and etc.
Great. So basically, different people will have a different goal towards learning this full stack. But the general goal, what we should have is we should be capable of developing a web application. It means at the end of this program, you should be capable of developing a web application. If you are able to develop a web application, then you are called as a full stack developer, or you are called as a full stack engineer, or a web developer, or a web engineer. So there are different terms which people will use, and everything is one and same. So our ultimate goal to learn this program is we should be capable of developing a web application. And once you became capable for developing a web application, everybody will be ready to give you the jobs. Okay, if some company wants to give a job to you, means first they are going to see whether you have the knowledge to develop a web application or not, or maybe a part of web application or not. So our ultimate goal should be we should be capable of developing a web application. Then the next question is, what is a web application? What is a web application? Now, we might have used a lot of applications. You might be using some application in your mobile devices. You might be using some applications in your systems. You might be using some applications in the browsers, right? Then exactly what is a web application? Basically, web application is an application, or we can call software, which runs in the web browser. Any application which runs in your web browser is called web application. For example, we access Facebook. Now, to access this Facebook, we have to open our browser. Then only you will be able to access this Facebook application. Now, this application is called web application. Now, this is your web application. You might have used Amazon. Now, to use this Amazon, you have to use web browser. So this application we call as a web application. So in simple words, what is web application? Means any application that runs in your browser is called a web application. Now, basically in your software industry, your applications are divided into generally 3 types. The first type we call as a standalone application. Okay, so whenever like in our IT industry, our applications are divided into 3 types. The first type we call as a standalone application or desktop application. Now, standalone application or desktop application are those applications. To use this application, first of all, we have to install this application in our system. The first thing what we have to do is we have to install this application in our system. Then only we can use these applications. We might have to install, plus there might be some application where we might want to do some kind of configuration. You might have to do some kind of configuration. So any application which need to get installed, which need to be configured to use it, such applications are called standalone applications or desktop applications. Examples, your notepad, the paint file which I am using here, paint application, your browser also comes under your desktop application. Okay, your antivirus, you might be using your lot of antiviruses, right? All those applications are your desktop application. To use all this application, first of all, you have to install in your system. Then only you will be able to use it, or else you cannot use it. And at a time, only you can use this application. For example, you have installed desktop application and I want to use your application from my system. It is not possible. I cannot use your application from my system. If I want to use the desktop application, then even I need to install that application in my system, then only I will be able to use. It means at a time, only one user can use that application. So this type of application we call as a standalone or desktop application. Second type of application is your web application. Now, what are web applications? These applications are not installed in our system. this application are installed somewhere on the internet in some system, and we are able to access this application using a browser. Now, to use this web application, we need not to install, we need not to do any kind of configuration. We just need to have an internet. We should have a browser. That's it. We will be able to access this web application. And the advantage of this web application is at a time, multiple users can use this web application. It means at same time, you also can access this web application, and even I can access this web application. Okay, this is the web application. And third type is your mobile applications. And this is very straightforward. Any application which works in your mobile devices are called mobile applications. So these are the three types of applications which are divided in your IT. So our target is all about how to develop a web application. It means in our entire program, whatever technologies we are going to learn, using all those technologies, our ultimate goal is to develop a web application. It means we are going to only focus on how to develop a web application, how to maintain web application, how to test that web application. Our focus will be entirely on web application. So what is web application? Web application is nothing but a simple application which can be accessed in your web browser. Okay. At very basic level, I have explained you what is web application. As you explore technologies, as you build your web application in future, your point of view towards web application will change. And slowly, you will change the definition as well. You will come into complete technical definition to explain a web application. If I explain technically what is exactly a web application now, everything will go out of your head. Okay, so I just want to keep things very simple and easy, and slowly we will move into a technical things. So now we know what is full stack, we know what is full stack development, okay, and we know what is web application. Anyone have any doubts up to here? If you have any kind of doubts, feel free to let me know. Or any confusion?
That's fine.
Okay, so now we know what is full stack. Okay, we know what is full stack development. We know what is web application. See, everything is interlinked. Every concept is interlinked. First, we understood it is a set of technologies. This is nothing but it is a process of developing a web application using this set of technologies. Then we tried to understand what is web application. Then I have just told you about little bit about the types of applications. Okay, now let's try to understand very high level architecture, very high level, or I can say very basic level architecture of a web application. Technically, if you take any web application, all your web application are divided into 3 sub applications. You take any web application in the world, all your web applications generally divided into 3 sub applications. What are those 3 sub applications? The first sub application we are going to call as a client side application or a front end application. We call it as a client side, or we can call it as a front end application. And the purpose of this application is all about developing the user interface. The purpose of this application is to develop the user interface. Now, what is the meaning of user interface? What is the meaning of user interface? Whatever you are seeing in the browser, everything is called user interface. For example, here you are seeing some text boxes where I can add some content. There is some button here. I can click this button. There is one drop down button here. Here I'm able to see some kind of options. I have some links here. Okay. In the same way, I'm able to show here some pictures. Lot of picture, lot of content. So whatever you are seeing here, everything is called user interface. User interface is a simple medium using which a normal user will be able to interact with the application. What is user interface? User interface is a simple medium, or we can say it is a medium using which a normal user or an end user can interact with your application. Like I can interact with this application. I can link on certain links. Like, okay, I can view certain product. Now here I'm able to interact it. I'm able to do some kind of interaction. But to do this kind of interaction, we have to create this user interface. We have to learn how to create this button, how to create these text boxes, how to show this image, how to show content in different structure. Now this content size looks little bit big and it is a bolder, but this content, if you see, it looks very small in size, and this content is not in the bolder. Like this, we need to learn how to create this user interface. So this kind of user interface we will develop in this front-end application or in this client application. Now to develop this front-end application or client application, or to develop user interface, we require some set of technologies. And those set of technologies are nothing but your HTML, CSS, JavaScript. These are the minimum required things to develop a user interface. Minimum things, minimum required technology. On the top of these technologies, we can use some other technologies, like we can use React.js, we can use Bootstrap, okay, we can use something called Angular. You have Vue.js. Like this, you have hundreds of options. But there are some technologies which are very trending in the market, especially whatever technologies I have mentioned here. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, these are mandatory. On the top of this, you can learn React, or you can learn Angular, or you can learn Vue.js. Any one you need to learn. Or if you want, you can learn multiple things also. There is nothing wrong to learn multiple technologies. But minimum thing is you should know HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and on the top of that, you should know any one, either React, either Angular, or Vue.js. And if you know these technologies, then you will be capable of developing a front-end application. Nothing but you will be capable of developing this kind of user interface. Any complex user interface you can develop. And if you are able to develop such complex user interface using these technologies, then you are called front-end engineer or a front-end developer. You are called front-end engineer or developer. So different people will use different terms. So some people will call front-end developer, some people will use the term client-side developer, some people will use the term front-end engineer, or like this one, front-end developer. Okay, so if you are able to develop client-side application using some set of technologies, whatever I have mentioned, then you are called front-end engineer or front-end developer. Yeah, anyone have any doubts up to here? Is it clear, guys? What is client-side application, front-end application? What is the goal of developing this application? The goal should be developing user interface. Okay. Now the next sub application is your server-side application, or some people will use the term back-end application. So we can call server-side application or back-end application. Now this is like a backbone of our web application. Back-end application or server-side applications are like a backbone of our web application. The purpose of developing this application is to do the data processing. Or implement all the features of our web application. Implement the features of web app. Whatever features you will see in any web application, that all those features will be developed in the backend. For example, if I go to this Amazon, okay, if I click on this mobiles, here we are able to see some content which got changed completely. Okay, how this data is changing here? This is because of backend application. Now here you are able to see some kind of checkboxes. Now suppose if I select this Apple checkbox, then my data will change here. Just see here, if I just check this Apple, here my data is changing. How this data is changing? because of this data processing. Now to implement this kind of features, we require certain set of technologies, right? We require certain set of technologies, and all those technologies we call as a backend technologies. So we can use technologies like Node.js or something like Express.js. We can use something called Spring Boot with Java. We can use Django with Python. We can use Laravel with PHP. Okay, there are hundreds of technologies again when it comes to backend. It means there are hundreds of technologies using which we can develop backend application, and we can implement lot of different features. Like here we can implement filtering feature, you can implement sorting feature, you can implement the feature to do the payments, right? You can change the content here. Like if I click on certain link, I'm navigating to some other page. So how we are able to navigate to some other page, how the data is changing here, this everything is implemented in your backend. Everything is implemented in your backend. Now to implement such features, we require some technologies. And here I have mentioned the examples of some technologies. Now, is it mandatory to learn all these technologies? Answer is no. You have to learn any one technology, any one technology. You can learn Node Express, or you can learn Spring Boot or Django or Laravel. Using all these technologies, we can develop this kind of applications. We can develop this kind of features. So that is the reason it is always said that backend application or backend development is like a backbone of your web application. Front-end application is all about creating the user interface. It means like here, if you see, I'm able to, like if I click on this mobiles, here we are able to see a lot of user interface, right? We are able to see some checkbox, we are able to show some images, we are able to show some data. This kind of UI we can create using front end. But if I click on this certain checkbox, then my data is changing. So how this data processing is happening? This everything is done at your backend. Like here, I can search some mobiles here, right? I can search something like Samsung Galaxy. Now, if I click on this search button, then it will send one request. Here I got some result based on whatever I have searched. So how I am getting these results? So all these things are done in the backend. So to implement such features, we require some set of technologies, and that is what I have mentioned here. And next, third sub application is our database. Before I go towards database, I just wanted to explain one more thing. If any person who is able to use these technologies and able to develop backend application, now such persons are called backend developers. They are called backend engineers, or you can say backend developer. You can call backend developer or engineer. Now the person who can develop only user interface using these technologies, those are called front-end engineer. The person who can develop only backend part using these technologies, they are called backend developer or backend engineer. These are the two sub parts of your web application. In the same way, we have one more part, that is your database. Now here we are able to show so much data, but there should be some place, right, where we are storing all this data, this images, this content. So there is so much content on this page. There should be some place where we might be storing this data. There should be some place from where we are fetching all this data, and that place or that thing is nothing but your database. So database is also a software which is going to maintain and manage your data. So there are different databases in the market. We have something like Oracle, we have something like MongoDB, we have SQL Server, we have MySQL. Like this, there are multiple databases in the market. So using all these databases, we can maintain the data. We can manage that data. Sometimes we might delete the data, existing data. Sometimes we might update existing data. Sometimes we might add new data. Sometimes we might access the data. Like this, lot of management we will do on the data. So for that, again, we required certain application, we required certain technologies, and all those are this one. So on very higher level, if you want to know what is database, database is nothing but it is a place where we are going to store the data, where we are going to manage that data. Now, any person who can manage the data, who can develop the databases, now such people are called database developer or database administrator. Database administrator. So these are the 3 sub applications of your web application. Now, if you are able to develop all these 3 sub applications, and if you are able to integrate all these 3 sub applications, then this entire thing is going to form your web application. This entire thing is going to form your web application. It means if you want to develop a web application, then internally you have to develop these 3 sub applications. If you are capable of developing these 3 sub applications, it means you are capable of developing a web application. So in our entire program, we are going to learn how to develop this front-end application, how to develop this server-side application, how to develop this database. That is what we are going to learn. Now, do we need to learn all the databases? Again, the answer is no. You have to learn any one database. If you know one database, then exploring another set of databases are very easy. You will have the same concept, little bit rules will change. Just you need to know those rules. So there might be some rules in Oracle. There might be some other rules in SQL Server. You have to just know those rules. Apart from that, nothing. And any person who is able to develop this front-end application, back-end application, and the database, such people are called full stack developer. Those are called full stack developer. And this process of developing the web application using all these technologies is called full stack development. Is called full stack development. So now our target is not to be a front end or a back end or a database. Our target should be how to become a full stack developer. And once you are a full stack developer, lot of opportunities will be opened for you. So the companies who are hiring for full stack developer, in those companies you can apply. The companies who are offering only front-end engineer role, in those companies also you can apply. The companies who are applying only back-end roles, in those companies also you can apply. It means multiple opportunities will be opened for you because you know how to develop an entire web application. Now you can work on any part or you can work on all the parts. So actually in your companies, they never give you a task where you will be working in all the parts. They will be maximum, they will be allocating you any one part. Maybe for 3 months you will work on front end. Maybe some after 3 months you will work on back end, like this. Or sometimes if there is an emergency, then you might be getting some back end work or you might be getting some front end work. So it's not like one day you are working on front end, next day you will work on back end. It's not like that. So basically companies will allocate you at any one stage. You might work on front end or back end. Or sometimes if it is required, then they might push you to work on some other part or maybe on the database as well. Now, when it comes to salary, the people who know full stack development, who are the full stack developer, they have more package compared to front end, back end or database. Okay, that is the reason why people are preferring to be a full stack developer. Even your company, in company point of view, they have more profit if they hire full stack developer, because here they have to hire 3 resources, and for all the 3 resources they have to pay the amount. For example, let's assume that for front end they are paying 10 LPA, for back end they are paying 12 LPA, for database they are paying something like 10 LPA. It means at the end company has to pay nearly 32 LPA. But instead of hiring 3 different developers, they can hire full stack developer, and for full stack developer they can pay 24 LPA. So now here company is able to save their 8 LPA amount. So this is how company will think, and this is how as a developer we will have more opportunity and more paying jobs if we are a full stack developer. Okay, so our ultimate goal should be how to develop a web application. Means we are going to learn how to develop front end, back end, and database. Is it clear, guys? Anyone have any doubts up to here? Understood the terms? What is front end engineer, back end engineer? What are their roles and what are the technologies required to develop all these parts? Okay, I'm talking in the perspective of development. Okay, this is the development stage. Okay, now if you are using technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React to develop front end, and if you are using Node.js, Express.js to develop backend, and if you are using MongoDB to maintain your database, then you are called MERN stack developer. There is a term called MERN stack. Now, as I have told you, stack is nothing but collection. Now, it is a collection of technologies. M stands for MongoDB. M stands for MongoDB. E stands for Express.js. R stands for React.js. N stands for Node.js. Okay, full stack is a general term which we will use. MERN stack is a specific to the technologies. Here they are specifically mentioning what are the technologies they want to use to develop a web application. Full stack means here it is very general term. Here you can use any technology. Instead of React, you can go with Angular, or instead of Angular, you can go with Vue. Here we are not mentioning the set of technologies, but in MERN stack, clearly they are mentioning that we want the developer who knows these technologies. MongoDB, Express, React, Node. Okay, so don't get confused with the terms. Some people will use the term like we want Java full stack developer. Java full stack developer means this backend part they want to develop using Spring Boot and Java. Spring Boot and Java. So any person who knows Spring Boot and Java and he is capable of developing a backend application, now such people are called Java full stack developer. Any person who knows Django and he is able to develop backend with the Django and Python, then those are called Python full stack developer. So people use different terms just to make understand exactly what technologies they want to use to develop the application. So our target is all about developing the web application using the MERN stack. Okay. So if you have any doubts, feel free to let me know, or else I can just proceed with next part.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. Now let's try to understand basically the curriculum, exactly what we are going to learn in this entire program. So our target is all about to develop a MERN stack, as I have mentioned. Okay, if you are able to develop web application using these technologies, then you are called a MERN stack developer, or you can call yourself as a full stack web development. Also, this is very general term. Okay, this is the specific technology term. Like basically, if I say, do you know language? Now you will say, yes, I know language. But if I ask you, do you know English language? It means I'm using a specific word. Do you know English language? But if I use a language, now language can be anything. It can be English, it can be Swedish, right? It can be German. It can be anything. So MERN stack and full stack are something like that. Full stack is very general term. MERN stack is exact using what technologies you want to develop the web application. So here we have divided our entire curriculum into multiple modules, using multiple modules. The first module, we are going to learn about HTML and CSS and JavaScript, and that to JavaScript basics. It means in module 1, we will more focus on basic part, like basically what is programming, okay, how to develop user interfaces. We are going to learn how to create buttons, how to create checkboxes, how to create that radio buttons, all those, how to style those buttons, how to create layouts. That is what we are going to learn. Okay, so that is our module 1. In module 1, we will explore the technologies like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And we are going to learn how to create this kind of user interface, like how to create checkbox, how to create buttons, how to create this radio button, this drop down button. Okay, how to create links. If I click on the link, I'm navigating to some other page. how I will be able to navigate. That is what we are going to focus on in our module 1. When it comes to module 2, in module 2, same, we will focus on front end part, but little bit in advance. We will focus on advanced things. We will focus on how to create the things dynamically. Like if I click on certain link, I'm navigating to some other page. But in that page, how to display some different data. How to do somewhere here. Yeah, if I keep the cursor here, I want to open this drop down. As of now, if I click on this button, then this drop down is opening. But what I want to do, if I keep my cursor, that drop down should open. For example, there is an application called Flipkart. In that they have implemented, I think. So let me open this Flipkart. Yeah, now see here, if I keep my cursor, if I just keep my cursor, this drop down is open. How this drop down will open? On keeping the cursor, like how dynamically this user interface is created, how we are changing the data. That is what we are going to learn in this front-end development, nothing but in the module 2. In that, we will explore the technologies like advanced concepts of JavaScript, and we will focus on React.js as well. Now, React is a technology which will help us to create a complex user interface in very simple way. Using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you can create user interface. But to create user interface or complex user interface with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you have to write a lot of code. You have to spend a lot of time. Same complex user interface we can create with React in very easier way, in very less time. So we are going to learn a top library which is present in the market, that is React.js. So how to create user interface using React, that is what we are going to focus. So in the module 2. So at the end of module 1 and module 2, you will be capable of developing a front-end part. It means you know how to develop front-end application. If you want, you can apply for jobs as a front-end engineer because you know the front-end part. So one door will be open for you. One way is open for you. So this is, we will focus on the backend development now. And to develop that backend application here, we are going to use technology Node.js, Express is all about developing the backend application. Here we are going to learn how to develop, like how to integrate our backend application with front end, how to database, okay, how to develop features like filtering, sorting, pagination, right? We are going to learn how to do data processing. Everything we will learn in the backend development. Basically, we are going to learn this backend part. It means at the end of module 3, you should be capable of developing the backend application. And to develop this backend application, we are going to use the technologies like Node.js, Express.js. Apart from that, we are going to learn the MongoDB database. It means how to maintain the data, how to manage the data using MongoDB database. That is what we are going to learn. So at the end of your module 3, you will be capable of developing entire web application. Means you have explored every technology that is required to develop a web application. And in module 4, we are going to practically develop certain application. We are going to develop one entire MERN stack application. It means we will develop front end, we will develop back end, we will develop database, then we will see how to integrate front end with back end with database. And we will see how a front end application will be. So in module 1, module 2, module 3, you just learned all the technologies. You have learned each and every concept. Now in module 4, it is a time where we have to integrate all these concepts and we have to develop the web application. Because learning is one part, then developing something using whatever we have learned is something different part. So we should know both the things. It's not like you learn concepts means you will be able to develop something. So you should have you should have some kind of techniques. You should know the process, how to use this concept to develop something, how a particular concept will be used to develop certain features. So that is what we are going to focus in the module 4. And once we are done with the module 4, then we will enter into the module 5. So till module 4, it's like you have done with your development part. And in module 5, we will see what are the best practices to write. Like you have learned technology, you wrote a lot of code. Now, what is the best way to write the code? It's not like only writing the code. You have to learn what is the best way to write the code. What are the best practices you have to follow? What are the standards you have to follow? How you can improve the performance of your application, what techniques you can follow. That is what you are going to learn in the module 5. Till module 4, you are like a you are like a engineers, you are like a normal engineers. But if you want to be a best engineer, if you want to be a best developer in the market, then you should know much more advanced concept. You have to write very effective code. You have to write code in such a way that your application performance should be very fast. So how we are going to do all those we are going to learn in the module 5. Plus we will learn the DevOps and deployment part also. Now you developed application. Now that application is accessible to you only. But somehow you want to make your application accessible to entire world. Now how you will be able to make your application to access entire world? How to do that? That is what we are going to learn in deployment and DevOps. So here you will learn about Git. Like basically Git is all about maintaining your whatever code you have maintained, how to maintain that code, how to share your code with the developers, with your teammates. All those things we are going to learn in Git. So you are going to learn something like Dockers and deployment. So that will be module 5. So at the end of module 5, you are like a best, I mean, you are a good developer. Now you are not like only a developer, you are a good developer. You can develop a good kind of applications. Again, in the module 6, it's all about, again, developing the applications. Now we know best practices, we know how to develop application. Now using those best practices, using our knowledge, we are going to work on certain more practical oriented things. We are going to develop multiple projects. Now it's not like we have to develop only one project. Developing one project doesn't you a good confidence. You have to work on we are going to develop e-commerce application, social media dashboards, okay, real-time notification system. Like this, we are going to develop multiple applications. And module 7 is all about your project management. Means once your application is developed, okay, once you have deployed it, now how to manage that application. If you want to do minor changes, or if you want to maintain that application, okay, all those things we are going to see in the module 4. So basically, once you enter into your company, how the task will be assigned to you. Okay, what are the reviews like once you've done certain tasks, what kind of reviews will be performed, how the task will be allocated to you. So all those things we are going to work. Nothing but this module 7 is all about your operational part. Operational part, like you have developed your code. Now you have to write the documentation also, right? How you have developed that code. What are the features you have implemented it? So you should know how to develop the documentations. So we are going to learn multiple techniques to develop your code. Everything is like a maintenance part, operational part. So in module 8, 9, and 10, with Yeah, is it audible, guys? My voice? I think I got.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's fine.
Okay, where I was.
I think it was in debug.
Debugging, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Module 8 and module 9 is all about your operational part. Okay, how to maintain, how to debug, how to monitor your application. So all those techniques we are going to learn here. Okay. And in the module 10, finally, we will do all the assessments and certifications. Like you will be giving a lot of mock interviews. You will be giving a lot of quizzes, right? You will have some project evaluations, whatever projects you have done on that, you will have the evaluations. You will have some certain tests. So all those we are going to do at the module 10. So I can say that from module 7, yeah, from module 7, everything is like your operational part. Okay, till our module 6, we will work on the development part. Like we will be learning technologies, front end, back end, database. Then we will be learning best practices. We will be working on multiple projects. Yeah, this is your walkthrough through the curriculum. So anyone have any doubts here? So obviously you won't understand the topics. This is just to give the basic idea exactly how our curriculum will be. Yeah. Anyone have any doubts on anything? If you want to ask, feel free to unmute yourself.
Well, I don't know if we are allowed to ask questions that are not exactly related to this topic, or must the question be exactly what is being displayed right now?
That you won't understand as of now. Slowly. So as of now, you understand that is completely operational part. Once we enter into that module, we will discuss about all those things in much more detail.
Okay, so maybe I'll ask a question at the end of the whole program.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else, guys? Anyone?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
You mentioned about Node.js and other React. Are you? Could you use other tools instead of those two? Because I heard a lot of Next.js, and because of his accessibility and documentation is really great. I wanted to know if you are able to use those ones instead of the Node.js.
Currently, we are going to stick with all these technologies, whatever we have mentioned in the curriculum. Like in case if time permits, then maybe, but like I'm not sure about that. But Next.js is something which you cannot do entire backend development using Next.js. Using Next.js, you can take the help of features like server-side rendering, which will help you to enhance the performance of your application at certain extent. But if you ask me, can we develop entire backend part using Next.js? Again, the answer will be no. So somehow you have to depend upon the technologies like Node or Spring Boot to develop the backend part. Is it clear?
Yeah. Just to add to Kabir's answer, we will be continuously evaluating the current market trends. In Sweden, in recent times, the Next.js is becoming popular and many companies are using it. So as Kabir said, if time permits, our goal is to actually get a job with the skills. That is the primary goal. And if Next.js is something that becomes important to reach that goal, we will definitely add it in the curriculum and we will cover it, like all the practical aspects and everything will be followed. But yeah.
I have another question.
Yes.
Are we also going to touch our code in, what's that? Sorry. Are we also going to use TypeScript on this program?
Yes, we are going to use TypeScript.
Okay.
Yeah, and the curriculum, it is already mentioned. We will start with JavaScript, and then in the middle, at some point, we will migrate to TypeScript. We will learn TypeScript, and we will also learn how to migrate to TypeScript, but because that is the most common practice that has been happening. A lot of companies are preferring to migrate their JavaScript-based applications to TypeScript. We will learn the migration as well as the development in the TypeScript as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all from my end, Jagdish. Over to you.
Okay. Kabir. Yeah, then that's all actually for the day, everyone. So as I said, if you are considering joining SITA, we already started the batches and the onboarding is finished for a few people already. We still have few spots left in Fullstack Web Development program. So if you are interested, it is very simple and straightforward. There will be 1 or 2 rounds of interview, but to reduce the time, we have created this document. You can go through this entire document, and if you have any questions, you will receive a mail mostly after this session. If you are not receiving the mail, that means you did not apply here. If you apply here, then only you will receive a mail. So once you think you have all the information to join, you can just reply to that mail if you have questions, and then after that you will receive a call from one of our HR team members for further processing. It's that simple. But don't apply, then you will never be contacted. Even if you join this session, we will not contact you unless you apply. I shared the link in the chat. After this meeting, maybe the link will not be available, so please click on the link and save it for your reference, because that has all the information, as I mentioned, to make the decision whether to join or not.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I have to ask my questions.
Yep.
Okay. I took some time to go through the website yesterday and day before yesterday, and I checked the requirements for joining the academy.
Yep.
And one of the main requirements says you have to be in the EU.
Yes.
Or in Sweden.
Yes.
So I don't know. That's a challenge for some of us I live in Russia.
Okay. Yeah. So this program is entirely for people who are living in either Sweden, or it's okay if you are living in some parts of the other countries in Europe. But if you're outside of Europe, then this is not for you, because all our terms, conditions, agreements, and everything is followed by European region, specifically as of now Sweden region. So yeah.
Well,
Sorry?
by the definition or description of the location of Russia, it says a major part of Russia is in Europe,
okay,
and a minor part of Russia is in Asia. So it's I don't know. So how do you place that? Yeah.
So you can apply. Okay. It doesn't matter whether you're inside Europe or outside Europe. You can always apply, and we will contact you, and our team will take care of all those administrative things. Whether you are inside EU region or EEA region or EFA region, all those things will be taken care. If you satisfy the conditions, that's it. You can join the sessions.
Okay, so and this sessions is going to be in person or purely online?
100% online. As I said, you will get all the information. You go through this document, and at the top you have this link for admissions, and in that you can get answers to literally every question you can think of. Some questions even you might have not thought of it, but you will find answers to that questions as well in that. So watch this webinar. I would suggest that.
Okay, and if I have any further questions, I think you can send to your email, right?
Yes. So if you applied already, fill this form, you will automatically receive an email from me, to which you can reply with your questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I think that's fine for now.
Cool. Okay, if anyone has any questions regarding joining, course, curriculum, or timings or anything, I highly recommend you to go through this webinar. It has almost everything that you should know before joining. And we highly recommend you to go to that webinar and then only make the decision, not before that. Yes.
And is it also applicable that if you join, you have to make sure you finish the program? The program is about 1 year, 6 months, something like that.
Yes, it is
You
a
don't have
total 18 months program, of which 12 months we completely focus on technical skills, and the next 6 months we focus on finding opportunities together. So we follow simple to complex approach. That is why there are no technical prerequisites required to join this. You can be from any background. We had people from medical background, civil background, or teachers, or I mean various backgrounds, people who have almost a decade gap in their professional career. Some people after studies, they moved with their partners and never got opportunity to work. So it doesn't matter your educational professional background, at what level you are. If you have a decent English speaking skills, and if you have a valid residence status in Sweden or Europe, and if you are available full time, if you are not working part time, or if you are not committed elsewhere, if you are available, if you are a full time job seeker who is considering starting your career in IT, that's all you need. We follow simple to complex approach. We start with absolute basics to advanced concepts. For example, by module 3, you will be a front end developer. By module 6, you will be a full stack developer. You can already start applying for the jobs. And then we will start upskilling parallelly, and we'll parallelly learn job strategy skills like facing the job market skills, etc. And we reach to a point where you can build full stack applications on your own and deploy them. We also have a separate DevOps training session where you will also join some of those DevOps sessions, where you will learn this Dockerization, containerization, container orchestration, and maintaining the pipelines and maintaining your source code repositories, some advanced concepts that will complement your full stack web development skills as well. But to get a job, you don't need to go to that point. Module 3 is enough for front end, module 6 is enough for full stack. But after that, if you are someone who is considering, becoming an entrepreneur, building your own stuff, you will also learn everything that is required to reach to that point. That's why we have 12 months. We have enough time to learn, practice, apply, and develop applications on our own, build portfolio and everything.
Okay, so that means all the programs, they are strictly 18 months. None of them, the programs is maybe 4 months or 3 months or thereabouts or 6 months.
No, there are no programs. As I said at the beginning, we are not a training institution who offers tools-based, technology-based courses. It's like you will get a feeling like you are working in a company. You will have not only just this training session, you will have stand-ups, retrospective meetings, review meetings, presentations meetings, workshops, etc. Other than this training, we'll also have job search strategy skills training. You will be occupied during the day with at least 2 to 3 meetings per day, along with this training session. Yeah, I mean, as I said, more details you will get in the webinar, that 1.5 hour webinar.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so then thanks everyone. I hope you all got all the details related to full stack web development and the curriculum. As I mentioned, go through the document and go through all the information, and when you feel that it's right choice for you, then contact us. Then we will have just one interview and we will add you into the full stack web development team. As I said, the sessions already started, onboarding finished. So we will take mostly 1 or 2 more weeks to take new people in. After that, we will close the admissions. The next admission process will start again in 2024, Feb end or March, sometime like that. So yeah, once again, thank you. Have a nice
Hey,
rest.
Jagdish.
Yeah, hello. Yes.
Yeah, hi, I'm Sri here. Actually, I have sent an email to you yesterday
I will
regarding
reply.
the
I'll reply.
Agile program. Did you get it?
I'm not sure. I need to check, but if you have sent me, I will definitely receive it,
Okay.
and yeah, I will reply to it.
Yeah. Actually, I just want to confirm it. I'm not into this full stack thing. I want to join in the Agile methodology program.
Okay.
So I just want to talk to you about that, and I just sent an email to you.
Okay.
But today I came to know that you have that thing, right? I'll go through that video. Thank you.
Yeah. Please go through it, and if you already applied, it doesn't matter whether you have written a mail to me or not. You will definitely be contacted, either by phone or
Okay, thank you very much.
you will definitely be contacted.
Oh, can I use can I call you on phone also if it is necessary? I'm not saying I'm going to call you,
Yeah.
but if necessary.
You can always call me if you have my
Okay, sure.
phone already. There is no
Yeah.
problem. If I do not answer, I will call you back for sure.
Okay.
100%.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jagdish. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Okay, everyone. Thanks for joining, and have a nice rest of the weekend. Maybe see you all sometime in future webinars or in future training sessions. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.